Hello beautiful souls, how are you guys doing today? Today's video is a pick a card tarot and oracle reading for the month of August. So when I was setting up this reading, I was just focusing on the energy that will be surrounding us in August. And let me tell you guys, the cards just kept jumping. I'll give you a sneak peek of these piles. Some of them are gigantic. I used 2 different tarot decks as well as a whole bunch of oracle cards, and some of them I had the intention of just pulling 1 or 2 oracle cards per deck, but some of them had 4 or 5 cards jump out, and the energy was just so magnetic that I was like, I have to leave all of these cards in. So make yourself some tea, get some water, a little snack, because this video is going to be a long one. But I do feel like it is going to have some valuable messages for all of you. I do want to take the opportunity to remind you that this is a general reading. So for one thing, your messages may be spread out through multiple piles. So if you feel drawn to multiple piles, perfectly okay. But I also want to remind you that not all messages are meant for you. So if something doesn't resonate with you, let it go. Don't stress over it, just let it go. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If something doesn't resonate, wasn't meant for you, meant for someone else, okay? I would like to encourage you to watch your reading all the way through, because sometimes what doesn't make sense with just the tarot cards will come around full circle and make sense once the oracle cards and all of the cards have revealed themselves, okay? I've had people asking questions about certain things that I've said during just the tarot parts of the reading, and I could tell by the way they asked the question that they didn't watch it all the way through to the end, because the answers would have revealed themselves later, okay? So I would appreciate it if you watched the whole thing in order to really get a full picture. So anyways, let's switch to the other camera angle. Because this is such a card intensive reading, I am going to just leave it with the top down camera angle, and so I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. So here we have our 5 piles for this August 2020 Pick a Card Tarot reading. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3, this is pile 4, and this is pile 5. Please take a moment to connect with your intuition and choose your pile or piles. The timestamps will be listed both in the description box as well as the top pinned comment. Let's get started with pile 1. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 1. We're going to start with your tarot cards. So you have Justice, the 9 of Coins, the Knight of Coins, the King of Cups, okay, and then we have the Emperor, the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, lots of pentacle or coin energy for you this month. So I definitely feel like August is going to be a month for you to focus. Oh, gross, dog hair. A month for you to focus on your finances and really take an empowering step to get your finances to a place that you want them to be. So this could be implementing some budgeting or even learning about budgeting. It could be around a new job or a promotion. It could be just taking the steps to be more aware of how you're using your money and where all your money is going. I'm feeling like in the past there's been a lot of excuses around your finances, but if you actually look at the purchases you've made, if you actually look at your spending history, you may find there are some frivolous purchases that really set your finances out of whack, out of alignment. And by being honest with yourself around your finances, I feel like you're going to be able to take charge. And with the King of Swords here, and we also have the King of Cups. So it's an interesting balance. The King of Swords is very intellectual energy. The King of Cups is more emotional energy. So I feel like this month it's going to be meeting in the middle, which is going to be a more harmonious way to approach your finances this coming month. With the King of Swords, this could be, learning more about finances. It could be learning more about budgeting, learning something to get a better position of employment. This is really centering around education. And then the King of Cups is more a mental shift. So this could be, again, really looking at what you are spending your money on and being honest with yourself about where your finances go. This could also be focusing on your money mindset and how you talk to yourself about money. If you're the type of person who says, money is the root of all evil, then that mindset may need to shift in order for you to reach your financial goals, because money is not good or bad. Money is not evil. Money is a tool. And as if we can see ourselves as worthy of having money, if we can see ourselves as worthy of owning and possessing this tool and a tool to use. So it's not about hoarding money. It's not about not spending money, but it's about using it wisely and not making this emotional investment into whether money is good or bad. Okay? We see this hen here. She has lots of pentacles, but she understands that she can share, that she can spend her money, and she can, give it to others in the chicken coop, right? Even the Emperor here, it's a different form of currency, but look at this stack of abundance that he has, these fruits beside him. But he's sitting here guarding it. But also, if you look at a silverback gorilla, they are very much family oriented. He has his, is it a troop of gorillas? Whatever a group of gorillas is called, he has his group of females typically or young males that he looks after and he heads. And it's like, if he knows that while he does have this abundance, if someone in his family needs it, he knows that he can share it because there is more to be had. He doesn't need to hoard it, because if he hoards all of this, then it basically becomes useless because it rots, right? But really, does it really become useless? It's fruit. It's full of seeds. It's planting seeds for something else, right? But you have to know when to plant those seeds versus consume those seeds, right? If you are starving, sometimes it is better to eat the fruit instead of planting the seeds, because you might not be around to see those seeds grow into another tree that's going to provide even more abundance to you, right? And this is, again, all metaphorical. But on the other hand, if you have enough, it might be worth planting a few of those seeds so that future you and future generations has more, right? So this could even be a metaphor for investing. And especially with the Ace of Pentacles here, the dung beetle takes the dung back to nourish and protect its children. So again, this could be not only being concerned with your finances in the current moment, but planting seeds for the future. So this could be saving, this could be investing. Again, it could be budgeting so that you can do these kind of things in the future. Okay? Let's see. We have the Cardinal. The polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. Yes, it is about balance. It's the balance here, like I was talking about with the King of Swords and the King of Cups. Also the balance here between knowing when to, eat the fruit versus when to plant the seeds. So if you're feeling like you're out of balance, whether it is financial, whether it is on a different level, this month it's really about focusing and intentionally bringing that balance back in. It's not even necessarily saying that the universe is going to bring you this balance. This is something that I feel you're going to have to work on, something that you're going to have to put physical energy into. I thought that was a Moonology card at first. Okay, so we have perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. Starkeeper, cosmic ancestor, seed the light of staying grounded. Another reference to seed. And then perspective, which is again, it's balance, a change of perspective. Like when I was talking about how you perceive money. And then with the Starkeeper, we're talking about cosmic ancestors. We're talking about different generations. Staying grounded. Planting those seeds into the ground. But then also, if you, metaphorically speaking again, if you just sit and you just wait for those seeds to grow, it's going to seem like it takes forever, right? You need to step back, see the bigger picture, allow time to pass in order for that seed to grow, to sprout, and to develop. It takes years, decades even, for some fruit trees to get to maturity where they are actually producing fruit. Just like, investments, sometimes you don't see a return overnight. Sometimes it takes years for your investment to actually be worth something substantial, right? And if you're feeling the need for everything to be now, that is also a signal that you are out of balance, that you are out of alignment. We have the card of Radiate, which is turmeric. Yeah, I heard don't be afraid to shine. So this could be even, when I was saying that maybe this is a career opportunity, don't be afraid to find this balance within yourself so that you can radiate, so that you can shine, so that you can share your knowledge and your experience and your talents with others. I feel like this month is really going to be about coming into balance with yourself. This card is interesting with the ray of light coming down into the individual, into their crown chakra, into their third eye. But I guess another way you could see that is, instead of coming down, is it coming out? Is it radiating off of this person? So we have, a reference to being grounded, but then we have a reference to radiate. And so often, I don't know if you're familiar with the saying, as above, so below. It's saying that we're all interconnected. Again, it's this perspective. It's not just your little bubble, but how does your little bubble relate to the bigger picture? The answers you need are coming. Time to release negativity. Both full moons. Full moon's about release. It's almost like with this one being a full moon, it's almost like you need to release the need for this answer. You have the answer inside of you. It's a change of perspective. When you're no longer seeking that answer, when you're no longer seeking even the validation that this answer will bring you, then you realize that you're more than this answer. And this answer is just a little piece of the puzzle. It's not the end-all be-all of your experience, of your existence. Again, it's this change of perspective, this change of balance, this stepping into alignment. Again, with the King of Swords and the King of Cups, it's very much a balance of intellectual and emotional. Even the Justice card here, we've got more balance. With the Knight of Coins here, I feel like when you can tap into this energy, things are going to move quickly for you. But, you know, knights train and they work really hard to get to where they need to go. Just like this dung beetle. He might be at the beginning of his journey. This knight is further along, right? But they both understand the value of hard work. They both understand the process of getting to where they're going versus just the end goal. I feel like that's another very important thing, especially with this perspective card. It's not about living in the moment. It's about enjoying the moment, but living in the end, living with the idea that what you want is coming to you, what you need is coming to you, that positivity of that mindset, that trust. But it's not about just sitting idly by. You have to work hard to get to this point. This silverback gorilla didn't just stumble upon this pile of food, right? He might be guarding it now for his family, but he didn't just stumble upon it, right? He worked hard to gather that, or his family worked hard together. They worked hard together. Just like this dung beetle is working hard. This dung beetle can't even really see where it's going. It's just trusting its instincts and going there. Versus this knight. This knight kind of has a better vision of where it's going. So again, it's this balance. The balance of just living in the moment, trusting your instincts, and then seeing what the end is and where you're going. Okay, so the last thing that I want to pull for you, these are some Starseed Wisdom of, what is this called? Wisdom for Spiritual Growth. And I just want to pull, okay, apparently that's the card that needs to come out for you. Reflection. See all aspects of yourself through the reflection of the one who mirrors your hidden self. Very interesting. I feel like that is a very powerful message for you. This perspective will not come, this perspective change will not come by looking at someone else. This perspective change needs to come by looking at you. Okay? So that is your message for August 2020. I hope you enjoyed this tarot and oracle pick a card. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and I will see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. You guys had so many cards jump out, especially this Fountain Tarot. I got a message for you. Let's see what it is. Ace of Cups. Knight of Cups. Four of Coins. 8 of Wands. 5 of Wands. Page of Coins. Death card. And the Devil. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Queen of Wands. 10 of Wands, and the Magician. Like this. Okay. Wow. I feel like you guys are fighting for something that you're very passionate about. This month, we go from the 5 of Wands to the 8 of Wands to the 10 of Wands. And the Queen of Wands. This is passion. And then with the Magician and the Devil, this is why I put them together, because I thought they were really speaking together. The Magician is about going after your dreams, being a creator, harnessing the tools that you have and the capabilities that you have to reach your dreams. But then we have this Devil where you're kind of pulled, and it's almost like you're doubting yourself. The Page, the Knight, the Knight. So this is balancing intellectual and emotional energy as you move forward this month. We have the Page of, or the Ace of Cups and the Page of Coins. This is new energy coming in, and I feel like this new energy is something around with what you're manifesting. But with the Four of Cards, the Four of Coins, and the Death card, it's almost like you're holding on to something, which is really what is... Thank you, card. You're very loud. So whatever you're holding on to here, I feel like that is where this transition into this wand stage is. It's like you have... Let's rearrange these cards, okay? So I feel like we're starting here with the Four of Coins and the Death card. You're feeling stuck, you're feeling stagnant, you're feeling like something needs to change, but you're not sure what it needs to be. And then in comes the Ace of Cups and the Page of Coins. And this is some kind of inspiration, some kind of motivation to have you moving forward to reaching your dreams. And then we have the two Knight cards. We have the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. This is like, you know what you want, you know how you need to get it, and you're feeling very inspired, very motivated because of this energy. But then we have the Magician and the Devil, okay? And this is, again, you wanting to go after it, but the Devil is this. It's coming back up. It's you like being like, oh, but my history is telling me that I can't have this, or my history is telling me that I'm not enough. My past story says this, that, and the other, right? You're not letting go. You're not letting this past leave. You're holding on to it, okay? You're stuck in kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? You're stuck almost in disbelief that this aspect of you is leaving. You want this aspect to leave, but it's like you're mourning it and then you're holding on to it. In times you might even feel anger towards getting rid of this, because this was comfort, right? And then we have the Five of Wands. This, in combination with the Devil, this is fighting over it. This is fighting for it. But then we have the Eight of Wands here. And I love this representation of the Eight of Wands with this story. Excuse my dogs in the background. I love the representation of this in this storyline, because we have the Eight Wands either coming together or moving apart, but looking fast, looking like action. Like this is a card of action and taking charge. But it almost also looks like a sun rays, right? And then we have the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Wands. The Ten of Wands, this is often seen as a card of burden and holding on. But the Ten of Wands is also about completion. It's about understanding that you no longer have to carry this burden. This burden is not yours to carry. Whether you decide to move all these wands one at a time, whether you decide, I don't even need to bring these wands with me, you know, not bringing them with you might be letting go of whatever you were holding on to here. It is, in combination with this Devil, it is saying, you know, the other side. You know, when you have like the imagery of the angel and the devil on your shoulder, well, you shouldn't listen to the angel or the devil. You should listen to yourself, right? And so with the completion of this Ten of Wands, it's almost like you're just saying, I am listening to myself. This burden of the devil is not mine. This burden of this Four of Coins is not mine. I have this newfound strength, this newfound confidence, and this is where I choose to focus my energy. And that is where you will step into this energy of the Queen of Wands. Now, I love this lioness because so often, you know, the male lion is seen as the, you know, the formidable predator, the fierce king of the jungle, right? But the lionesses are the ones who do the hunting. The lionesses are the ones who really control the pride. The lionesses kick ass. This could be saying, you know, you need to tap into your feminine energy, your divine feminine, as we go through this process. Doesn't matter if you are masculine, feminine, man, woman. We all have a balance of masculine and feminine energy within us. This could be tapping into your divine feminine, which is more in alignment with this Knight of Cups here. The feminine aspect of ourselves, the divine feminine, is more about your creativity versus the intellect. You know what to do. You know you're smart. You know you're capable. When this inspiration struck, it wasn't that you thought that you weren't able to do this. It wasn't that you thought whatever this inspiration was, it was going to be too hard. No, when this inspiration struck, you're like, I can do this. You had the confidence when this inspiration struck. You're like, I know it. Even if it involved learning something, you knew you had the capabilities to learn it, right? It's about being creative in how you implement it into your life. But then you had, you know, a little hiccup with this devil saying like, no, maybe we're not smart enough. Maybe we don't have enough money. Maybe we don't have, you know, trying to bring you back to this energy. This is almost very ego energy, very fear-based energy. You know, keeping you in your comfort zone because it's comfortable. But this month, it's time to move forward. It's time to stop fighting with those wands and take the steps to go forward, okay? Once you can embrace that energy of going forward, once you see your power, your potential, once you see that this burden is not yours to carry, then this energy, this action, this taking charge, this ray of light is yours, okay? We have the dog. Your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. That is interesting. Maybe that's also what this devil is. Maybe also this energy here is summed up by this dog. Too many masters. There's too many people that you're trying to please here. So as you're trying to move forward to please yourself, you're getting off track, you're getting beaten down because you're trying to please all these other masters, right? The only person in this Five of Wands that matters is you. But if you're trying to appeal to everyone, then it's really going to be a struggle. Like I was saying here, and also with the devil, you know, when you have the devil or the angel on your shoulders, the one who really matters is you, not the devil or the angel. It's you. And the devil and the angel would be like having too many masters. Let's go with your herb cards. Abundance. Wild yam. And awakening. Golden seal. Yeah, it's like you're awakening to the idea that you are capable. Awakening to the idea that you can be this fox. Awakening to the idea that abundance is something that you can have, that it is something that you can bring into your life. And abundance not even just like in physical means, like I'm not talking only wealth. Abundance of love, abundance of happiness, abundance of loyalty. You have take time to breathe out, and a win-win outcome is in the forecast. I'm going to put that right there with the 8 of Wands. Take time to breathe out and release. When you're feeling like you're being drawn back into this energy, just let it go. Let it go. You don't need to hold on to this energy. You don't need to hold on to this energy that's like, I'm feeling a lot of judgment, a lot of fear, a lot of, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's almost like you're afraid to move forward because of what other people will think of you, but you haven't even asked anyone else's opinion. And it's not that you should ask someone else's opinion, it's just, why are you assuming that their opinion's going to be negative before you even start? Okay? We have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Yeah, it's like fall into my arms. When you think about falling into someone's arms, what's your first thought? That they're not going to catch you. When instead, you could think that, oh, I'm going to fall into this person's arms and they are going to catch me with a loving, supportive embrace. Focus on the win-win, not the lose. Surrender to the sweetness. Venus energy. Venus energy, that's again that divine feminine energy. Pleasure, joy. Make love to life. It's about enjoying your life, being passionate about what you're doing, right? With all this wand energy, that's one of the first things I said. This is about passion. It's fiery energy. But we need it to be fiery in terms of passion and love, and not fiery in terms of anger, in terms of fear, in terms of regret. It needs to be love. You guys got a lot of cards. And we have empathetic starseed. Energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Yes, absorbing what is not yours. That was the energy here. You keep trying to serve a master who is not you, and the only master you need is you. You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. Jump in. Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. Yeah. That was here. You were holding on to the past and not wanting to change. And here we have the you're not alone, the isolation. I was saying, the only person who matters is you, but you don't have to do it alone. Like this lioness, she is rarely alone. There will be lots of other lionesses in their pride, and also the lion and all the cubs, A pride is a big family, and they work together. The lionesses work together, but they know they have power within themselves. Okay? So the last card I want to pull, hopefully just one, please, universe, is Starseed Wisdom for Spiritual Growth. I just hope this will just provide a little bit more guidance for you moving forward. Okay? So I feel like this message for you overall, go with that one with the eyes, is really about trusting yourself and moving into this energy of trusting yourself. This may seem very overwhelming for what is ahead in August 2020, but I don't feel like all of this is happening next month. I feel like this is energy that you're stepping into, energy that you need to be made aware of so that you don't find yourself falling back into this pattern. This month, maybe you feeling like you really need to step into this pattern or fall into this pattern. You may be here on your journey, you may be here, you may be here, you may be here. All of you may be in different spots. But I feel like this month is going to be a lot of temptation to step back into this negative energy. So we need to release and let go of that, okay? So let's see what your card has to say. Intuition. Trust your intuition. It has been guiding you to the answers that you seek. Yeah, that's like listening to yourself, this divine feminine, listening to you, not giving in to the too many masters, not giving in to the devil on your shoulder, not giving in to the other people who are existing with you. They are existing with you, but they are not you. You need to trust your intuition. You have the knowledge and the guidance within you when you can believe that, okay? This month is time to believe yourself, okay? So that is your message if you picked pile number 2 in this August 2020 Pick a Card Tarot and Oracle reading. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button so I can see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 3. Oh yes, I remember. You guys had a ton of Starseed cards pop out. And I shuffled twice. The first time I was like, no, that's too many. I'm going to put them back in. And then like another big pile jumped down. They were probably the same pile. Anyways, let's get started. We have the 6 of Wands, the 5 of Coins, Temperance, the Fountain, Three of Swords, Death, and the Fool. So this is actually quite interesting because we have the Fool and we have the Fountain. So the Fountain is actually unique to this deck, but it also is interesting in combination with the Fool because they actually stand outside of the 21 major arcana cards, because the Fool is actually number 0, right? The Magician is number 1, all the way through to the World, which is 21. So we have the Fountain, which is outside, and the Fool, which is outside. And this Fountain card, this is about the interconnectedness of the planet. This is about cycles that are beyond death, beyond birth, beyond kind of the construct of time and the boundaries that we have put on things as humans. The Fountain is, with the infinity symbol, it is combining everything together in oneness, bringing the cosmic down to the earth and bringing them together as something unique to you. It's a card that is often considered to be in this instance, it's almost like this is talking about waking up from something, right? We have quite a few what could be perceived as negative cards here. We have the 3 of Swords, we have the Death card. Even this 5 of Coins here, this depiction is quite dark. But then we have Temperance, and this is about balance. We have the 6 of Wands, and this is about victory and achieving your goals. So between the Fool and the Fountain, it's almost like now is the time for you to step into alignment. Now is the time for you to step into the person that you want to be. This is actually very interesting with it being for August and a lot of things around the world starting to reopen. A lot of people going back to work after lockdown, of course, depending on where you are in the world. But it's almost like we're emerging out of this dark state with a newfound vigor, a newfound inspiration to be who you are, to be in alignment with who you are, to stand up for yourself. Not even to stand up for yourself to other people, but to stand up to yourself for yourself. You know, it's about not giving in to what other people have told you you should be. It's about not giving in to the judgment and criticism of other people and letting that define who you are. It's about coming into this oneness, this alignment with yourself, and finding how you fit into this world. And by truly aligning with yourself, this is when you will find the victory and the triumph. And you know, it's about letting go of this negativity. The death card isn't always negative. It's about transition. It's about change. So while it can be dark, it is also about a new life, a new beginning, a rebirth. Okay? So we have the tiger. Oh, before we go on, so it's also interesting with the fountain card and the fact that you guys got so many Starseed cards, because this is a very spiritual card. So these may provide a lot of insight for you guys. So I'm going to read those next. But the tiger, you're being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. Trust that you are capable, that you as an individual, as a person, have the capabilities, have that you are worthy of doing it as well. The Fool often is depicted as taking a big leap, a big jump, and a lot of trust is involved in that. But a lot of trust that, as the outside viewer of a situation, might seem impossible, right? So the typical Rider-Waite depiction of the Fool is a person coming up to a cliff's edge and they're about to jump off the cliff. But what we don't actually see is whether that is actually a cliff. Perhaps it's just a slight ledge. Perhaps it's just a step down to the next part of the pathway. Perhaps it's not a big step over the edge, but until you get up to that point, it might seem daunting, it might seem overwhelming, but then when you get there, you realize, oh, it's just another step, okay? You are capable of taking that step. So let's take out your Starseed cards. Let's start looking at these. I remember Soul Plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Again, very cosmically aligned there. And it's like remembering what you were put here to do versus what someone else has told you to do. It's a balance, right? Just like this Temperance card. It is a balance. Water your garden. Nourishment. Body care. Tenderness. Rest. In times of pain, in times of trouble, like with this Three of Swords, we can place blame on other people. We can place anger and jealousy and fear onto other people. But until we take care of ourselves, until we nourish ourselves, until we take care of our body, of our mind, of our spirit, we will never be able to move past this. Messenger, serious energy, bringing harmony into balance. Yeah, when we can create this balance. So we have the Fountain, which is, the infinity symbol. It's the never-ending loop. It's balance. We have Temperance again, which is a card of balance. And now we have the Messenger speaking again of harmony and balance. It is connecting your higher self and grounding it back to this physical world and feeling that connection with yourself, feeling that harmony within yourself. We all have dark times, right? We all have these dark times, but it's how do we grow and evolve and move forward from these dark times? How do we embrace what we learn during these dark times? You know, learn about other people, learn about ourselves, learn about situations around us. How do we take that knowledge and implement it to create the best outcome with what we are given? Courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. Let yourself be seen. That's very much in alignment with this tiger. A tiger is, you know, a multifaceted creature as well. They look so beautiful and, you know, they're so powerful and magnificent and, you know, but so gentile at the same time, so soft on their feet and so quiet, like the way that a tiger can stalk its prey without any, like many cats, how they can stalk their prey without anyone realizing they are there, and only when they choose to be seen are they seen. And it's about letting yourself be seen when the moment is right, when the opportunity is right. Weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. That's exactly what I was saying with this. Like this is some heavy energy, but it's not necessarily your energy. And it's time to connect with yourself, align with yourself, and see past this negativity, see past this energy, and align with what you want to have going forward. So I feel like a lot of spiritual work will be happening this coming August. Your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Yeah, like I was saying, it's about taking the opportunity to grow, taking the opportunity to learn, taking the opportunity to connect with yourself on a deeper level when things are dark, when things are hard. A true artist will appreciate the values of dark, of shadow, because if a painting is only bright, if the painting is only light, there is not a lot of dynamic to it. Even within these cards, I mean, they look quite bright. This one's a little darker. But let's say this card here. It is very bright, lots of bright colors, but there's a lot of shadows within this card. There's a lot of details within this card. This person's face, their image, pops out from the brightness, not because it is dark, but because it is in contrast with its situation. And the artist knew that if they wanted to draw attention to this person, they needed to have some kind of balance between light and dark. And we're talking about the weight of the world in this card, right? It's not yours to carry. So they wanted the surroundings to be very light and very airy. And if they put a very light and airy figure amongst the light and airy background, it would just all kind of blend together. It is within the darkness that we truly begin to appreciate the light, but it's also within the light when you appreciate the darkness, right? When you can shine a light into the darkness is when you can see the details and when you can see the surroundings and begin to appreciate that, because it's not so dark, it's not so scary, right? Yeah. Okay, so we have Soothe, Slippery Elm, and Dreams, California Poppy. Again, it is connecting with your dreams, connecting with who you want to be, being this manifester. So we have creative here and we have the dreams. And it is seeing your dreams and making them a reality through a creative process. The creative process of manifestation, taking a thought and making it into reality. I mean, manifestation doesn't have to be big. Creativity doesn't have to be big. But say you wake up and you think, I'd like a tea this morning. Well, even just going into your kitchen and making that cup of tea, what was a thought, then turned into an action, which then turned into a result. It might be something as simple as a cup of tea, but before you made it, all you had was tea leaves and water. You didn't have tea, but now you have tea. A nice, nourishing, warming drink, soothing drink even, right? Actually, I just realized there's a cup of tea right there. I didn't even look at that before I started giving that example. But you know, that is manifestation. It is a very simple form of manifestation, but we are all manifestors. We all do that. We all do simple things like that every single day. And when we can start to see ourselves as capable in creating those little things, we begin to see ourselves as capable in creating bigger things. Okay? And that's kind of where we're stepping from the Fool energy that we had down here into this Fountain energy. This kind of juvenile, almost wanderlust kind of energy to still being excited, still being enthusiastic like the Fool, but just knowing that wherever you go, it doesn't matter because you're where you need to be. Okay, and then we have look at the bigger picture, full moon in Scorpio, or in Sagittarius, sorry. But it's a full moon, so it's looking at the bigger picture and releasing the fears around what's holding you within that picture, because that picture is still only one aspect. Even the bigger picture for you is still only a very tiny little speck in terms of our cosmic capabilities, right? Supermoon, emotions are running high. That's very interesting with the Soothe card and the Water Your Garden. This is talking about care, tenderness, and rest, and the soothing. So it is about making sure that you're checking in on your body, especially, you know, if you're feeling the darkness from the other cards, if you're feeling in that, making sure that you are taking the time to seek the balance of the Temperance card. Temperance is, if you look at a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card, she's got 1 foot on the land, 1 foot in the ocean, and is, keeping that balance between two things where she finds joy. So what are the things that you find joy in, and how can you incorporate that balance into your life? Even if, say, you don't like water, but you need to be there, keep your 1 foot on land, or vice versa, right? But when you do feel like you're feeling full of emotions, don't run away from your emotions. Acknowledge them. See if they are even your emotions, or if you're picking up on emotions of others. Sometimes we're having a bad day because we're just absorbing negativity from other people. But when we can put up the boundaries and say, this is not mine, then we can move beyond and into a more balanced existence. And then we have New Moon in Aquarius, which is bring love into this situation. And that's always good advice whenever we are feeling fear, whenever we are feeling anxiety, if we're feeling, any negative emotion. It's not about, ignoring it. It's not about suppressing it. It's about bringing love to yourself, love to those emotions, acknowledging that you're feeling sad, and giving yourself the self-love, the care, the tenderness, the rest when you are feeling those negative emotions. Having enough love for yourself to see that you are having a hard time, admitting to yourself that you're having a hard time, and treating yourself with love and care and respect to get through that hard time. Again, it's this bigger picture. when you can see even the hard times, even the negative times, through a lens of love and see the bigger picture. You know, like there's the expression that hurt people hurt people. So when you see someone who is being hurtful to you, perhaps it's coming out of jealousy, perhaps it's coming out of a past experience, and you can begin to see that it's not actually you that they're mad at, right? And then because you can shift that perspective, their anger, their fear doesn't impact you as much. Okay? And now the last card I'm going to pull is from my Starseed's Wisdom for Spiritual Growth deck. And I just hope this will give you a nice, whoa, I'm going to go with this one that I actually caught. A nice little message of encouragement to move forward this month, okay? Starseed, raise the vibration of the planet through your radiant, loving light. Yeah. Again, with this Fountain card, you guys are beyond focusing on purely the physical in front of you. You guys are capable of seeing the bigger picture. You guys are capable of connecting more to your higher self, even to your subconscious. You're capable of connecting more with the spiritual realms, with, you know, more than just what is in front of you. And it's about having the courage to step into this and treating yourself properly throughout the process, right? You are a spiritual being, but you're living a temporary human experience. And when emotions are running high, you need to accept that those emotions are a part of this experience. Those emotions are a learning process. And it's not about running away from them, okay? This August, it's not about running away from emotions. It's about bringing love into the situation, seeing the bigger picture, and finding out how to use those emotions to benefit yourself, to benefit your situation, to grow and evolve as a human and as a starseed, okay? So those are your messages if you picked pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed this tarot and oracle reading. If you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 4. We're going to start with your tarot cards. So we have the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Cups, the Moon, and the Star. And then we have the Nine of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Seven of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Three of Wands. Okay, I feel like this August you're going to be stepping into kind of your own power, a new level of self-confidence, but this is going to come with a lot of reflection. It's going to come with a lot of self-realization. With the Nine of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the Moon card, I feel like there's going to be a lot of triggers this month, so it may be an emotionally hard month for you. But I do feel like this month is really going to help evolve past those triggers, instead of seeing those triggers as just negative things, instead of just dwelling on the negative sides. I feel like you're going to start to accept the negative and realize that it's part of the existence, but that there are options. There are options for the actions that you take. There are options for the way that you choose to react versus respond, respond versus react. Options for the way you even perceive these negative situations, I feel like I want to use the expression, the tides are turning. You know, so it's like what once seemed to bring in a lot of negativity might now be, I mean, it still might not be an easy thing, but it's almost like you're recognizing what these triggers are, and because you can recognize them, you can anticipate them a little bit more, and because you can recognize them and you've admitted to yourself what these triggers are, you then are better prepared with what your options are. So it's like you're having this bigger perspective. This Three of Wands here, I feel like, you know, you can see your options, you can see the possibilities, and you're taking more charge of picking what is right for you in the moment. And now sometimes that might be, you know, hanging back and being responsive to your physical needs, whether it's resting, relaxing, nourishing your body in a good way. This could even, you know, giving into a craving every once in a while. You know, like if you really want to say that cupcake, sometimes it's just worth having the cupcake and not dwelling over it, not saying you're negative or bad or anything for having that. It's just you enjoyed it. Enjoy the temptations every once in a while. We do also have a lot of depictions of the full moon. So we have the full moon on the moon card, but then we also have this full moon in the back of this Queen of Coin, or it's actually a coin, but it looks like a full moon. I'm perceiving it as a full moon. And that in combination with this Nine of Swords card, this card, you know, it's dark, it's gloomy, but you can still see. I'm assuming that there is a full moon on when this card is taking place, right? Because it is still illuminating the darkness. And like stars illuminate the darkness, the full moon illuminates the darkness. So it is about shining light onto the darker aspects of ourselves and not ignoring them, but looking deeper at them. Let's take our little skunk friend, for example. Skunks have a very negative reputation because of their scent. But skunks are actually very good for pest control. They have a purpose in the environment, even if it's not something that we might want living in our backyard, right? They do have their purpose, and they are very important creatures in many ecosystems. And it's about seeing the value. Like, yes, the skunk may stink, but for one thing, they're adorable. And they're good for the environment, right? So it's about thinking about the negative things, or perhaps the negative aspects of yourself. This could even, for some of you, I feel like this might be around your physical body, whether this is you wanting to gain weight or lose weight. I do feel like there is a lot around how you physically look. It could even be like toning up, getting muscle, but just changing the way that your body looks. And instead of seeing the negative, it's about shining a light onto the bigger picture, about seeing, you know, the whole story. So instead of, like I said earlier with that cupcake, instead of beating yourself down for wanting a cupcake, just enjoy it. Enjoy it while you eat it. Don't rush. Don't be gluttonous as you shove it in your mouth. You know, like actually savor it and enjoy it, and really think as you're eating it, is this something that I am actually enjoying? Is this something that is making my body feel good? And, you know, this is just one little example that you can put onto a lot more things in your life. In all decisions, you know, am I enjoying doing this? Is this something that's going to benefit me? Is the momentary pleasure worth whatever the long-term repercussions might be, right? Let's pull your animal cards. So we have the Roadrunner. Keep your sense of humor and don't take things too seriously. And the Peacock, let yourself stand out and be noticed. That Peacock energy is very similar to this Queen energy. It's about letting yourself be noticed. When you see these negative sides of yourself, it's not about saying, like, these don't exist. It's not about pushing those into the darkness. It's about embracing the whole you. This Two of Cups here, this is a decision that you can make. You can choose to hide in the shadows, or you can choose to stand out. With the Roadrunner here, keep your sense of humor and don't take things too seriously. Some of you might be natural born comedians. You might find yourself seeking humor when you are upset. But it's almost like, don't use it as an escape. Use it as a way to process things. Use it as a way to alter your perspective. When you can see that the wave is just one small part of the ocean or the lake or whatever the body of water is that we're talking about here. And when you can see that the wave can be very powerful. I mean, waves over time erode away soil. They can, like a tsunami can make a catastrophic change very quickly, versus a lapping wave can erode things over time. Ultimately, it's water, and water is so important for us, for our bodies, for, this planet in general. But you can focus on this catastrophic wave, or you can see the abundance that is the ocean, right? So it's a change of perspective this month, and it's a very empowering one if you let it, okay? If you remain in this darkness without seeing the possibilities, I don't feel like many of you are going to step into this Queen of Cups, into this Queen of Coins, into this Peacock kind of energy. It's like you're going to be this woodpecker on this wand. And I mean, this woodpecker is not going to get anything out of the wand. Not like if it was a tree, like, because the woodpeckers, they get the bugs out from underneath the bark and stuff of the tree, right? And they're not going to get anything out of this wand. But if you can see the perspective, you can see that whole forest back there, which could provide lots and lots of nutrients and nourishment and safety, like a home for that woodpecker, right? But you have to be willing to see your options. And I feel like if you kind of exist in this Nine of Swords energy, if you exist in the energy that you are this skunk and that everyone only sees you as this smelly creature and everyone is going to be attacking you, then that is the energy you will remain in. Okay, you do have this decision to make. We have cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. So maybe you guys do feel like you have hit rock bottom, and maybe that's what this Nine of Swords is. You're feeling like you are just at the end of your rope, you're done, there's no place else to go. Sometimes you might have to just sit in that energy and, be able to work through those feelings, work through that hardship, and I'm trying to think of a way to say this that isn't like toxic positivity, because it's not about just being positive all the time. It's not about always existing in this positive, happy-go-lucky state. It's not. Negative things do happen, and we do have negative experiences, but we still have to be able to see the light shining through that negative, right? If the sun never set, we'd never be able to appreciate the moon, right? Does that make sense? And so sometimes you need to experience that darkness to see the beauty in things. Okay? Wait, it's not time yet. Sorry, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. The void. Stop. Embrace winter. Great cosmic womb. And portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. Yeah, it's almost like you're not willing to make the decision to see positives yet. You might be sitting here and being very judgmental of the words that I'm saying, like not wanting to embrace that there is a positive within negative. Like, no skunks are just disgusting creatures. Like, no darkness is just darkness. If you're not willing to see the positive within you, if you're not willing to see the positive in certain situations, if you're not willing to surrender to that, you're just going to sit in this rock bottom position, and no one can change that for you. Only you can change that for you. And, you know, it's like, again, going back to someone who wants to change their body. If you want it bad enough, you can take the steps to change your physical body. I mean, getting a haircut is changing your physical body. Losing or gaining weight is changing your physical body. Getting cosmetic surgery is changing your physical body. But there's also just the perspective of your physical body. If you choose to see your body as incapable, if you choose to see your body as something that is holding you back, then that's what it is. Okay? Even people who have disabilities, they can choose to see their disability as something that hinders them, or they can choose to see them as a person who is worthy of doing what they choose to do, and empower themselves even with their differently abledness, whether it is physically or neurologically, right? Some of the happiest people you will ever meet, some of the most successful people you will ever meet, are living with conditions, are living with, whether it is a physical or a mental disability, whether it is a visible thing or if it's an invisible thing. We all have unique needs. We all have unique traits which make us who we are. But if you only focus on the negative and define yourself by that negative, that's all you'll ever be to yourself, right? To other people, you may be, strong, you may be inspiring, you may be encouraging, but you may be dwelling in this darkness because you're not ready to see yourself as something other than this negativity. But I feel like this month is time for you to step into this energy of empowerment. It's a change of perspective coming your way if you allow it. Okay? We have balance and we have cleanse. Balance for your physical and emotional needs. Balance for your situations. Again, the balance of the light and the dark. Balance of the moon and the sun. It's like you can, if you want to create this balance, you need to be willing to step through this portal. You decide if you're going to take this cleansing route to see yourself as something more than you're currently allowing yourself to see yourself as. Did that sentence even make sense? I hope it did. But with the void and the weight, I feel like if you are not ready yet, that's okay. If you are not ready to take this step, it's okay. Time will come. Things will happen at their own pace. Things will happen at their own speed, and things will happen when they are ready to happen, okay? We have conclusions are within reach, and you and your loved ones are safe. So that's interesting to add to this. I feel like with this, you and your loved ones are safe. You need to feel comfortable within the decisions that you're making before you're going to step out of this void, okay? Sometimes you have to hear a message multiple times. Sometimes you have to meet a person multiple times before you feel comfortable within the situation. And perhaps this message is not ready for you to receive yet, but with these conclusions are within reach, I feel like the more you expose yourself to positivity, the more you expose yourself to optimism, to cleansing ideas, to opening yourself up, to raising your vibration, the closer you will be to reaching the conclusion and stepping into this energy. Okay? The last thing I want to do is just pull a card from the Starseed's Wisdom for Spiritual Growth deck. I just hope this will give you a little bit more guidance as we move into August. Again, I feel like this could be a very challenging and emotional month for many of you who picked this pile. But you can get through it, and when the time is right, you'll know it, and it'll be time to take action. Action on spiritual levels, mental levels, physical levels, okay? Not just doing something physically. It's you know, also making the decision that you are capable and that you are willing, okay? Thank you. Courage. Yeah. Live your life fearlessly with courage, strength, and determination. Courage is going to be a big thing for you this month. Whether you're not ready or whether you are stepping into this energy, it takes a lot of courage to be able to look at yourself analytically. It takes a lot of courage to admit your faults, admit your darkness, admit, you know, the sides of yourself that you might want to repress or laugh away or just ignore, right? But you can do it, and when the time is right, I know you will feel safe and you will feel like you can move forward into a higher vibrational state, okay? So that is your message if you picked pile number 4 in this Pick a Card Tarot and Oracle reading. If you enjoyed this reading, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello to everyone who picked pile number 5. You guys had a lot of tarot cards jump out. Let's get started here. So we have the Tower, the Ten of Wands, the Hermit, the Ten of Cups, Five of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Three of Swords. Okay. And then we have the Star, the High Priestess. There's that Ten of Cups again. A Queen of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Three tens, two Ten of Cups, Five of Cups, two threes. I mean, first let's focus on this Ten of Cups. Like, this is a really good, positive card. This is emotional fulfillment, relational fulfillment. Tens is a completion of a cycle, so it's like what you've been working hard for, especially in terms of your emotional stability or your relationship. It's coming for full circle. Like, I do feel like there is a completion of a cycle here. And I mean, that's a very positive completion of a cycle. It's like, you know, the process of working up to building this relationship, it's now coming full circle, and you're moving into more of a stability phase than, you know, trying really hard to build this up. You've proved yourself, you've proved your capabilities, you've proved your worthiness, and now it's just maintaining. But then we have this interesting balance with the Three of Cups and the Three of Swords. We have joy and pain. We have the Ten of Wands, which is almost like you're feeling burdened. The Tower, you're focusing on the foundations, but they're crumbling right before your eyes. Five of Cups, like you're not being heard, not being felt. The Hermit, it's almost like from the outside, things seem to be going really well. You know, maybe your friends look up to you because your relationship seems to be going well. Maybe you have a good relationship with your family. But it's like on the inside, you're feeling this confliction. We have this the Knight of Cups who wants to show off his goods. He's showing off his cup, showing off his shield. But then we have the Knight of Wands who has dropped his wand, dropped his shield, and looks like he's going to bury his head in the sand. He's running away from something. And that running away from something, like I'm really feeling like this Five of Cups is just pulling to me. And you see how he's disappearing, right? So it's almost like you're feeling like you're not being heard. We have the Hermit, the High Priestess, the Star. It's almost like whatever is not being heard might almost be from within. You know, you've got things, you've got material goods, you've got a relationship. These things are going well, but things are still falling apart. You know, it's like everything should be going great. You should be happy. You should be this, should, but it's like you're not meeting your own expectations. So I feel like this August is time for you to check what those expectations are. Now, this might be hard for some of you to hear, but the expectations, it's not that someone else is letting you down. It's that you're letting yourself down with these expectations. Whether you're being too hard on yourself, too hard on others, feeling a lot of judgment. And this judgment is really weighing on you. It's like, I feel like the judgment is this Ten of Wands. It's burdening you. And this judgment is what's shaking the foundations. I don't feel like this foundation is necessarily like the foundation of this relationship, this foundation of this success. But I feel more like it's the foundation here is your opinion of yourself. Whether this is you having found a new aspect of yourself and moving forward, which might not be in alignment with what you've built up. Fear that you can't be who you are because of this system that you've put in place. You know, like maybe your friends, your family, your loved ones, whoever is involved in this Ten of Cups, it's almost like a fear that they won't accept you because they've come to know you as this one person. They've come to know you as this Queen of Swords. But really you want to be this High Priestess. This doesn't have to be feminine either. You know, this could be masculine as well. So don't feel like you have to click off this reading because you are not a woman or do not identify as a woman. It's kind of like you're judging yourself very intellectually, judging yourself on your worth within this physical 3D realm. But really, I'm feeling like you have this draw towards this spiritual, which may be hard to explain to other people who have always known you as this very analytical, as this very material-based kind of thought, or have this material-based kind of thought and perspective. So shifting to this, it's almost like you are afraid to show it, and so you're kind of, you know, fading away into the background, which is causing this, you know, you love this aspect of yourself, but you're afraid to love this aspect of yourself. So we have the octopus. Practice shape-shifting by altering your physical appearance and mannerisms. Practice shape-shifting by being comfortable with who you are with different groups of people. So that might also be why we have these two Ten of Cups. For this Ten of Cups, you might feel comfortable portraying yourself in a certain way. For this Ten of Cups, you might portray yourself in a different way. You know, it's like how you act differently at work versus at home, or versus with friends, right? You can shape shift. You can be the different aspects of yourself where you feel comfortable. And the more you practice being yourself to different people, the more you can become in alignment, and the more you can feel heard, and the more you don't feel like you're fading into the background here. And then we have Shark. Trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. Trust your instincts to know where you feel safe to show this aspect of yourself, or to show this aspect of yourself, really. Within certain groups, you might have this more maternal, loving, nurturing energy. Within other groups, you might have this more competitive, like this kind of reminds me of like a sports trophy. Different energy for different circumstances. And it's about trusting your instincts to know when you can be these different aspects of yourself. It's not that either aspect is wrong, but if you're going from one into another, it's about becoming more comfortable in the other. So just little steps where you feel comfortable. You know, we all have to start somewhere, right? This pearl started out as just a speck of sand. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Trust again. We have trust your instincts, trust the time. We, the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Birth as a portal, rebirth, connecting back with your higher self and bringing your higher self into maybe this more earthly realm. How can you relate this high priestess energy with this Queen of Swords intellectual energy? Earth school, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. I feel like I just answered my question with that. It's about learning. Learning who you are and how you fit into the world around you. The world doesn't necessarily bend for you, but you also don't have to bend for the world. It's how can you coexist together, right? Activation and acceptance, yeah. This activation, like I immediately saw this fading image, this person just fading into the background. When you activate, this just came solid. Like the opacity was just, you know, turned right up. No longer was that person invisible. No longer were they transparent. They were confident in themselves, in their physical being, because they accepted who they are with love, with compassion. It's this rebirth. And again, it doesn't have to happen all at once. We've got these gears here, right? It's amazing how much movement this small gear can make the other gears move, right? Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Full moons are also about release. So, this could be about releasing the barriers that you're putting up, releasing the judgment, the burden, and having this practical plan be, being your true authentic self, this high priestess energy with people you feel comfortable with. And that could be your plan. I'm going to show this side of myself to this group of people. This could be real life companions, or this could be a community of people that you've met online that share similar interests. But if you can grow as a person while interacting with this group of people that you feel safe with, you can then expand that group of people as you become more confident within yourself. A new romantic cycle begins. I feel like that is for yourself. We had this 3 of Cups here. We've had a lot of rebirth energy. This isn't changing or transforming a relationship. This is the relationship with yourself. And then we have confidence is key to your success. Both new moons. New moons are about setting intentions for the future and going forward with what you want. Again, it's time to trust in the timing, trust in your instincts. If you're feeling like you're putting on a show, if you're feeling like what you've shown the world is not your true self, maybe one day in the past it was your true self, but you've changed and you've morphed and you've become a different version of yourself. That is okay. We change and we grow and we evolve as humans throughout this journey. Okay? And we need to be okay with change. We need to be okay with change for the world around us, and we need to be okay with change for ourselves. So I feel like this month of August is really being okay with the changes within you. Okay? Now I just want to pull a card from my Starseed's Wisdom for Spiritual Growth deck, just to kind of finish off this reading. That was the card of guidance that I just saw, which goes along with trusting your instincts. Vision. Trust in your ability to create the vision in your soul. And there's that guidance card. You are not alone. You are guided by masters and teachers of the highest realms. If that is not embracing that high priestess energy, I don't know what is. I feel like you guys are really connecting with a higher version of yourself, or at least starting to connect with this higher version of yourself this month. And I really want you to tap into this energy. I really want you to embrace it. It may be scary at first. You may feel like you can't show this side of yourself to the world, but there are people who will love and support you in this journey. Okay? So trust yourself, trust your instincts. If you enjoyed this Pick a Card Tarot reading, I would love it if you could hit the subscribe button so I can see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day.